Thank you for staying with us and welcome back. Time now to welcome here with us in the studio Dr. Nader Mostafa. And Dr. Mostafa is an international relations expert. Dr. Mostafa is also a former parliamentarian. Thank you very much for joining us.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mostafa. So what is the importance in your view and the significance of Egypt's participation in the extraordinary summit of troop contributing countries to ASEM, and ASEM of course is that African Union support and stabilization mission in Somalia?
Let me first begin with the Egyptian relations with Africa. It's a very important point from the Egyptian point of view. It's historically, economically, politically, even military. It's a very important issue. Look to the issue of the River Nile, look to the Red Sea issue nowadays, while wars are surrounding us from each and every direction. Being with Somalia in this critical time is one of the most important issues for the Egyptian foreign policy. Being there, helping them politically, helping their institutions, helping the African Union to stand next to this very important country in a very critical time is, believe me, show how honor our foreign policy. This is what President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has always said. At that time, standing with the efforts to stabilize Somalia, we all saw what happened in the north-west region in Somalia. Some countries accepted being a little separated from the nation. We are supporting
the territorial integrity and the sovereignty and the unity, of course, of Somalia, and we do not recognize anything called Somaliland. The so-called Somaliland is an entity that is only recognized by Israel.
We are trying to stand next to all African countries to support government of Somalia in order to strengthen their ability, their institutions, to deal with the situation nowadays. These efforts are done by the African Union this time. Dr. Badr Abdelati shared in this conference. During 3 days, Egypt showed the willingness, the power of Egypt in order to maintain the stability in Somalia, and at the same time we are looking to help economically, politically, by each and every way in order to support this very important nation for us.
So you started, Dr. Mostafa, by wanting to talk about Egypt's role in Africa at large, in general. So let me ask you, how does Egypt's support for Somalia reflect its broader African policy?
These days we can see the importance of the relations between Egypt and Africa. From time to time we saw our president visiting African nations. Maybe some of these visits are very important and historically. On the same time, we find that presidents of lots of African nations are coming to Egypt from time to time in order to share views. At a level or else, Egypt was the head of the African Union. And look to the Egyptian history with the African nation unity, how they held the African nation, in the liberation movement, non-alignment movement, in each and every...
And the fight against colonialism.
And nowadays we saw a very important role in the Red Sea in order to keep the security of the Red Sea and the Horn of Africa by the nations of Africa itself, by those countries who are on the sea, not from other place.
Absolutely. And His Excellency, the President, has repeatedly affirmed that Africa possesses the capabilities to shape its own future
Yes.
through solidarity and partnership. So again, we don't want like external
Yes.
players here. As you mentioned, like the countries themselves overlooking the Red Sea are the ones tasked with,
Yes.
you
The
know,
way Egypt always deal with the African countries is like, we are dealing like brothers, dealing together, understanding the circumstances, understanding each and every country needs, the way they are trying to face troubles. Egypt already face all these troubles and managed to deal with these troubles. See the way Egypt managed to do the new republic, how it managed to build new capital, roads, solve lots of troubles for example, building housing or doing big shift toward the future. Lots of countries in Africa are looking to this as almost miracle. We need to help them. We need to be able to solve all kinds of troubles that African people face. Look to our medical field, the way we deal with virus C, how we manage to solve this problem.
That was a big success story.
Yes, yes. Lots of stories are there in order to achieve development. So we can deal with African nations by really like equal manner, dealing with each and every country
Respect.
honestly, by respect, to solve their problems and to stand next to them in a very hard and critical time. And this is the example of Somalia today. I believe that once Egypt decide to stand next to Somalia, this will be a very good example to other African nations and nations all over the world.
But there are financial challenges,
Yes.
facing that mission, the African Union Support and Stabilization Mission in Somalia. So what impact could they have on the security operations, and how can we gather the money needed for this,
Yes.
this mission?
And this 3 days conference, Dr. Badr Abdelati was there on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. So we found that Egypt is there not only by the political power, but it's there by the economic power. We willing to support and help all these kind of regional community in order to support Somalia. This is what Dr. Badr Abdelati shared, and I believe that being there in Kampala,
Right.
in the last Uganda, I believe that we are ready to support, and this is not only words, but this what reflected by visit of Dr. Badr Abdelati, the Egyptian foreign minister.
And Dr. Mostafa, indeed, the foreign minister called there on international partners,
Yes.
and the United Nations Security Council itself,
Yes.
to provide sustainable funding for the mission. And this falls in line with Egypt's repeated demand,
Yes.
that the United Nations be more involved, there would be more reforms, a bigger voice for the South.
Yes.
A bigger voice for the developing countries,
Yes.
a bigger voice for those who are in need, more in need. So here again, Egypt, you mentioned that Egypt headed, of course, the rotating AU presidency.
Yes.
I think the last time was 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I remember that His Excellency, the President, I remember this clearly, said something in that context after the rotating presidency of Egypt ended. He said that if you think that Egypt's role will diminish now that Egypt has left the rotating presidency of the AU, you are wrong.
Yes.
We are going to do more while we are not even at the helm of the rotating
this is
AU
what happened. This is what happened, and believe me, the bilateral relations with the African countries, the organization that Egypt is member in the African continent, the way we are dealing with the African issues in the international community, all these prove that what Egypt was saying is well studied, and the Egyptian people know very well with whom they start, with whom they will continue their way. And I believe that the fire surrounding our region prove that the Egyptian vision in the conflicts always being respected from all countries of the world.
Yeah, we want to put out the fire.
Yes.
But others want to,
yes.
to stay.
Unfortunately, and we also dealing with this issue in a very honored manner, in a very respected way, in a manner that don't harm any country of the world. And we are really dealing with our continent as our African brothers, trying to help them. We have we have something to give them and to
absolutely, and we share a common destiny anyway.
Yes.
I mean, it's our fate is interconnected. I mean, and Egypt is a very important player in Africa, has always been, but you know, it seems that the role is growing.
Yes.
But you mentioned earlier, I mean, of course, in the 50s and 60s, in the Nasser era, I mean, that was
how all African countries get their independence.
Right.
Through
they looked up to Egypt, and they got the help. Many of them got the help.
Till now, they look to President Nasser era by a very respectful way, and this is our history. This is our history.
Exactly.
And inshallah, during President Fattah Sisi, the relations with Africa will, and it is really now in a very
it's obvious. I mean,
in a very good,
is taking
yes, in a very good. And we remind our African brothers by the time of President Nasser, and I believe that our days with Africa is coming by all these steps we done in Egypt. So each and everyone is looking to us like when you go through the Egyptian streets, you find the African brothers are there each and everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is their second home. Obviously, the Egyptian-African relations have an upward trend, very clear, very strong. It is here to stay. Dr. Mostafa, beyond the military support or the security support, what role would political dialogue and institution building play in achieving lasting peace in Somalia?
Yes,
it's a very important country.
This is a very important issue because right now, as we mentioned, there is a separation issue which is very dangerous, and Egypt is standing next to Somalia in a very strong way in order not to allow this to happen. But in the same time, Somalia is suffering from a Shabab movement and terrorist attacks, and this is also can show how Egypt managed to fight the terrorists, and we are having long history and long experience,
and certainly the Somalis can benefit from Egypt's experience.
Yes, this is very important, and the way we are dealing with even the region, how we make different militant group sit together, how we manage to
the political dialogue,
how we manage the political dialogue, even look to the Egyptian national dialogue, you know, how we manage to make people sit together, dialogue, reach to middle point solutions, make compromises acceptable from each and every different party. So we did this with Palestine also all the time in order to make these factions sit together and make the dialogue. We done this dialogue on the Egyptian different kind of ideologies, and so we are having experience in this. We can really help in this, help Somali people to sit together and to form their strong institution again, and to stand like United Nation again. And history of Somalia is full of problems and troubles for the last few days due to the international intervention in their own
There were
issues.
very bad interventions by big powers.
So each and everyone is going to intervene in order to achieve his own interest. So Egypt, when they want to go to this piece of Africa. They want to achieve their own interest before the Egyptian interest. And this is well understood by the presidency there, by the government there.
Because simply, I mean, it's against the issue of the common fate or common destiny. And if your neighbors are doing well, then obviously this is excellent for you, and vice versa. So as we understand what you want to say, Dr. Mostafa, is that Egypt is not looking for a specific benefit or advantage for itself, but is looking for the overall benefit, the overall goal of reaching stability, security, development.
This is very clear when you
even when it talked about the Ethiopian dam, by the way, the Renaissance dam.
Yes.
Egypt is not against Ethiopia benefiting from from that, but it's against harming
the Egyptian people in a vital harm, as you said.
Right.
If we also look to the visits of the Somali officials to Egypt, the way the president of Somalia deal with Dr. Badr Abdelati in the last visit, the comments of the Somali officials about the relationship between Somalia and Egypt, we will find that it's a very important and strategic relationship, and I believe that Somalia will get big support from Egypt on the coming months.
All right, Dr. Mostafa, ladies and gentlemen, allow us now to watch another report. We'll be watching another report about our main topic here for tonight, and then resume our Q&A session. Please bear with us. Dr. Mostafa, ladies and gentlemen.
Amid the turbulent currents of global change, Egypt is making a decisive move to reclaim its historical role as a leader on the African continent. This is not a return to old rhetoric, but a sophisticated, modern strategy grounded in pragmatic partnership. The recent Egypt's participation in the second extraordinary summit of countries contributing troops to the African Union support and stabilization mission in Somalia, held in Kampala, Uganda, was not just a diplomatic courtesy call. It was a statement of intent accompanied by high-level delegation of government officials. The participation by Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati signaled a paradigm shift in Egyptian foreign policy, moving from symbolic solidarity to building tangible alliances based on mutual interests in security, trade and development. This is how Egypt is actively forging a new chapter in its African relationships. Egypt's new Africa strategy was planned diplomatic role built on four interconnected pillars, showcasing a multifaceted approach to regional engagement. The first is the political power and diplomatic clout, and to strengthen political ties and reaffirm Egypt's role as a stabilizing force. This direct high-level engagement was designed to activate political consultation, coordinate positions within the African Union, and solidify Egypt's presence in the critical Sahel region. Secondly, on the economic front, joint business forums were launched. This wasn't just talk. It yielded immediate results, including a significant agricultural memorandum of understanding signed to pave the way for concrete investment. On security cooperation and counter-terrorism, discussions focused on practical cooperation, including intelligence sharing to help West African nations build their capacity to tackle their own security challenges. Beyond policies and security, Egypt's ability to leverage its deep cultural heritage and modern expertise in education and healthcare to win support on international stage. Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati participation in the second extraordinary summit of troop contributing countries to the African Union support and stabilization mission in Somalia held in Kampala marks a turning point. It demonstrates a mature, multifaceted foreign policy that skillfully blends political, economic and security tools to achieve clear strategic objectives. Egypt building genuine partnerships in Africa is no longer just a diplomatic option. It is a national imperative for confronting shared challenges and unlocking a future of collective prosperity.
welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Still in the studio is Dr. Nader Mostafa, the Professor of International Relations and the former parliamentarian. Dr. Mostafa, Somalia is very important for Egypt. Somalia is very important for the Red Sea. What opportunities exist, in your view, for expanding the bilateral cooperation between Egypt and Somalia in areas like training, like development, capacity building, and others?
Frankly speaking, you know, each and every country on the Red Sea, Egypt today, has to do with their very important relations. We need all countries on the Red Sea in order to manage the security and stability of the Red Sea. We all remember when the stability in Somalia is not in a good condition, we see the pirates and the level of harming the ships going through the Red Sea to the Suez Canal and the Mediterranean Sea. So being stable in Somalia's situation, there is a stable, I believe that this is very important to the security of the Red Sea and the African Horn, and on the same time for Egypt economy and Suez Canal and the international shipping lines. I believe that we need to manage the situation in order to keep stability in the Red Sea and the African Horn, and this is very important for the international security and for the regional security. We saw today Iranian issue. I believe that unfortunately the Iranian issue is harming also this point in the Red Sea and also in the Hormuz issue. So I believe that we need to do more effort in order to...
Actually, the situation in Hormuz makes for more importance for the Red Sea. I mean, it makes the Red Sea so much... it has always been important,
but also
it makes it even more important.
Threats are there not only in the area of Hormuz, but sometimes the situation getting worse in
you're
the
talking
Gulf
about the
area.
Bab el-Mandeb, you're talking also about...
Gulf area also. So, and these countries in the Gulf are the main source of petroleum for the area.
Well, I don't recall if there has been one single episode here on Nile Oracle that we have not talked about Iran. But again, I always say we cannot not talk about Iran, even if it's a different topic.
This is the situation.
Exactly. So because it's affecting everything.
Our current issue now.
Exactly. So I want to, take advantage of you being with us here and ask you, what do you think, Dr. Mostafa, is the likely scenario that will unfold in the U.S.-Israel-Iran standoff?
Allow me first to see what's inside my heart about the Egyptian situation, how we manage all these hard times in order to stand and get respect from each and every part of this war. I believe that each and everyone look to the Egyptian situation as a very important part of the issue, but we are not part of the war. We are part of the solution, but we are not part of...
We want to put out the fire.
But we are not part of the problem. We are dealing in a very good manner with our brothers, trying to stop any kind of aggression. On the same time, we are not... We never committed any kind of aggression against any part
Absolutely
there.
not.
That's why even when the issue happened in we realize that each and every part is mentioning how important is the Egyptian relations with him. And this is not only on the political level, but on the people's level.
Actually, it seemed, every side was like, oh, it's not us, it's not, it's not us, it's not us.
Egyptian people was standing in a very, very nice and important next to their state. How Egyptian people stand against this aggression, how they manage to carry the ship with fire outside the port.
Right.
So the Egyptian people are standing next to their leadership. They respect and trust their institutions. So the way Egypt is dealing in this war...
Egypt talks to everybody.
Yes.
Egypt is listened to by everybody.
The way on the political level, the way on the military level, the way on the people level, the way on the diplomatic level.
Right.
Believe me, it's very respectable, even from our... When you deal with the Saudi people, for example, when you deal with the Kuwaiti people, when you deal with the Iranian people, when you deal with even the Americans, they will tell you that you are
the credibility.
Yeah,
right?
you are doing very well, and we are listening to your views. And once Egypt said, please stop this, each and everyone, and the way our president traveled through the fire inside the war, how each and every party stopped his missiles and his attacks in order to listen to what Egyptian president will say. So thanks God that we are doing well in this, and this is very hard, and the way we are dealing is, believe me, the philosophy of our dealing depends on the patience and merciness and forgiveness. The way we are dealing really is too much respectable, too much honorable, and give lesson to others in the region. People start listening to the Egyptian view and the Egyptian the Egyptian way. We are not only stopping the fire.
We are trusted and deservedly
but on the same time, we are building ourselves and our capabilities. And look to the octagon, look to the way we are dealing with our institutions, the way we are dealing with new capital, the way we are trying to solve our problems, the way we are doing with our economy in a very hard time and very hard region.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, Egypt always promoting peace, Egypt always calling for a peaceful settlement to all crises, calling for unity, calling for security, for stability, for non-interference in internal affairs, for abiding by United Nations.
This is our philosophy, and this is our heritage, and this is our people. This is our point of view. This is the way we are thinking through a very long history and traditions.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Dr. Nader Mostafa. God bless you too. Dr. Nader Mostafa is an international relations expert and a former parliamentarian. Hope to see you again. Thank you.
Me too.
Well, bless you. Please, dear viewers, do stay with us. We still have another segment here on Nile Oracle. Again, we'll be talking more about Egypt's growing role in Africa and its push for integration in Africa, and we'll be focusing on the economic element of things. Egypt pushing for economic integration in Africa for the benefit of all here in our beloved continent. A short break, and when we come back, we will introduce you to another distinguished guest with us and another Q&A session.